What is up, guys? My name is Jay and I'm back with another episode of Redstone the Basics, and today we're going to be covering how to hide your redstone, because whenever I build something I like to hide the redstone. I don't like to have it basically out in the open so people can see it. So I'm just going to go over a few basics of how to travel redstone downwards, how to take it up vertically, and a few other things about how pistons work and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how redstone can be used with buttons and levers and pressure plates. So as you can see, the block's directly on top of this redstone, and if I hit the button it still goes down, and the lever and again the pressure pad travels directly down and onto the redstone. So this can be used in a floor, for example. So if you have a block here with a pressure plate on it and then have redstone there, I'll just bring it up here so you can see, but it'll work, and that can be completely hidden under a false floor. So you'll still be able to activate the redstone, but you won't be able to see anything apart from the pressure plate, and use that then to connect to the underneath of a door or whatever you want. So that leads me on to my next point, and how blocks can conduct redstone. So as you can see, I've just done that here and used a repeater. In fact, I'm going to bring that up one block here. I'm going to need a bit more space actually, but if I bring that up one more block there, like so, and then have redstone going up to there and a repeater going to that block, and then put a door on top. If I can just find a door, and I can't find a door. There. So now I've put a door on top of that block. You can see that the repeater isn't going into the door, it's going into the block below, and if I activate it, it doesn't work. How strange. It should work. Okay, maybe it doesn't work for doors. Oh, it works for pistons. So as you can see, if I have a block underneath the piston, that will absorb the redstone and pass it on to the piston. And I'm not quite sure why it isn't working with a door. Maybe you can do it like this. No, doesn't seem to work with a door. But it does if you put redstone to it. It's a bit buggy. Blame Notch for that one. So yeah, if you had redstone going to the block beneath a door, it'll work. And I'll just mess that up. So, like so. Then that'll work. So you can use that and have a wall at the side of your door. So you won't actually see any of it, but if this pressure pad gets trodden on, the door will open. And of course your redstone doesn't have to go there. That's the whole point of hiding it. It can come this way. Like so. Now I've put the pressure plate on top of that block, it'll open the door, and as you can see it's all underneath, so that'll all be hidden like so, and that'll work fine. if you don't cut your redstone off like I did just. So you'd then just have your walls either side of the corridor, and you wouldn't see any redstone at all. You'd just see a pressure plate miles away from the door, which would be a bit strange. So that's how redstone works underneath the floor. Again, if I was to remove that pressure plate and put a button on the side of that block, because the button has to be on the side of the block that's above the redstone, that would also work. And again, if I was to do it with a switch, that would travel directly down as well. So pop that on and door opens, and we can't see any redstone at all. So yeah, next I'm going to move on to how to build your redstone up vertically, and this is the way I do it. So if you have a block here with a switch on it, and you want to get that to travel upwards, but you don't want to build a big staircase going up, you would put your redstone coming out the back of it so it's on, and then have a torch on top of the block it's going into, another block on top of that, torch on top of that, and you can do that for as far as you want. As you can see, this is on and that redstone is on there, so all to get an output off that, put a block on top and have your redstone coming that way, and then when I turn it off, it turns off up top. So that's a neat way to get it travel up vertically, and it's only one wide, which is nice. So that's how you travel it vertically up. And then to get it to travel down, you can use a similar system, which I'm just going to build up to sky limit quickly so I can show you. And it looks like that's sky limit because this platform's really raised up high. So again, you'd have a block there with a switch on it, and then to get it travelled down, this one's slightly bigger, it's 2 wide as opposed to that 1 wide version. You'd have your redstone coming off there, and that'd go directly into a torch, which would then have another block 2 below it, because redstone torches also pass redstone down 1. And then on the back of that you'd have another torch turned off, and you just do that all the way down until you got to where you wanted, and put another torch on top of that and have your output coming off that, like so. So as you can see now, my switch is off but my output's on, and when I turn it on my output goes off. One way of dealing with that would be to move this forward 1, like so, so you've got a 2 gap behind it, and then just put a torch on the back of it, and that inverts everything. So now if I just pop a lever, same place as before but 1 back, as you can see the lever's off it and it's off, and turn it on and the current comes on. So that's how I travel mine downwards and upwards, but this can cause a bit of lag if you're going to use complex circuits, so in that case you just step it down with a normal staircase, just going up like so, and like that, and you just have your redstone going up like that. But it looks kind of messy if you do it like that, so I prefer to do it that way, and it just gives it a bit of a cool effect. And I think that's about it, to be honest. Another property of redstone, and this can sort of be used to hide it, is a block will pass redstone through it if there's a repeater either side, as you can see. it lights the other repeater up. However, and I believe it'll also do it if you just have redstone on the other side. Yeah, it does. So it'll do it if you have it like that. So yeah, as you can see, the repeaters will pass the current straight through the block, and that can be used to make the clock that I've showed before, which has a set and reset state, so you can turn the clock on and off very simply. And that's about it for hiding your redstone. To travel it down, you want to use that system, as long as you're not too bothered about a little bit of lag. And when I say lag, I actually just mean a little bit of time getting to it. It won't lag your server so much. It'll just take a bit of time getting down. And to travel it up, you want to use this system. And that's all there is to getting your redstone up and down in a compact way. And yeah, like I say, that's how I hide my redstone. Put it under the floor, and also on a wall. Redstone will pass through the block and go to the redstone behind. So that's another way of having a switch on a wall and not being able to see the redstone. And it'll also activate the redstone if the redstone's on top of the block that the switch is on, but that's not as hideable as if you just place a block one below on the opposite side, and that'll work. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and until next time, I'll see you later. Peace. Fall into, and that has to be one below the piston that's coming out. So to wire this up, you have a repeater going into that side block, a block of your choice next to these two pistons with redstone on top, a repeater going into that block with a 3-tick delay, and then